Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of COVID Conversations. Tonight we have Rollins and Stetson with us. Really happy to have them as part of this series. Just a few housekeeping. We have a couple handouts that I've added to the presentation. If you click on the handouts in the GoToWebinar control panel, you'll be able to download them. If you have any problems, just send me an email, jason@scoreatt.com, and I will be sure to email them to you. If you're having any audio difficulties at any time during the webinar, if you click on the audio part of the GoToWebinar control panel, there'll be a option to dial in by phone. If you click on that, they'll give you a phone number and a code to punch in. It takes a couple of seconds, but it will get you set up, and you should not have any audio difficulties after that. Before we get started, just wanted to do a quick poll to get a sense of who is in our audience. So first question is, who are you? If you guys can just give us a couple seconds. I try to keep these open for about 30 seconds, get an idea of who is in the audience. So our enrollment people can know who's on. So far we're at 60% of the vote in. Leave it open for about another 10 seconds. We're at 65%. %. All right, I'm gonna close it out here. Looks like it's 35% rising seniors and 59% independent educational consultants, and the rest is made up of other high school students. Second question, real quick, is where are you? Just trying to get a sense of who's in Florida and who's not in Florida. And if you're not in Florida, where in the country are you? And it's looking like it's predominantly Florida. 60% Florida, 20% Eastern Seaboard, and 10% Western US. I'm going to close it now. We've got almost everybody, just so everyone can see. All right. Thank you guys so much for that. There we go. So first up, we have Kristina Bracero. Kristina is a graduate of a small liberal arts institution, Wesley College, and studied art history and classics. Though a native Floridian, she proceeded to spend 2 years in Istanbul, Turkey, and eventually found herself back in Central Florida, working at Chase Bank in a variety of positions. She started as a student employee within the admissions office at her alma mater and has now found herself back within admissions at Rollins College. She's been with Rollins since fall of 2019 as an admissions counselor, and her territories include Alabama, Arkansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and the following Florida counties: Broward, Manatee, Okeechobee, Palm Beach, and St. Lucie. She loved her time getting to know the campus and the broader community at Rollins, and one of her favorite aspects that shines through in everything done is the ability to develop strong, long-lasting relationships with her fellow classmates as well as faculty and staff. Also with us tonight, we have Dana Dolbow. Dana graduated in 2010 with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration from Catawba College in Salisbury, North Carolina, and completed her Master's in Business Administration from Stetson in 2017. Prior to coming to Stetson, Dana worked in the Office of Admission at her alma mater and at Automatic Data Processing, where she was in a sales position. Dana has been with Stetson for 7 years, where she has progressively taken on more leadership roles within the office. Thank you both for coming tonight. Also is Barbara Leventhal, the representative from Score at the Top and Judah Rabinovitz Educational Consultants. Barbara brings to our educational consulting practice more than 30 years of experience as a teacher, administrator, and college counselor. She likes to say that all parents take great pride in the special qualities of their children. Her role is to define those qualities and channel them in unique ways that tell a compelling story for college admission. Many parents know Barbara as the guru behind student projects. Her ideas inspire students to create original projects based on their interests. Fully engaged with her proteges, she then guides them through to project implementation. Some have created projects that drew thousands of dollars in donations, while others have written and published Amazon best-selling books. A little bit about tonight's format. Each of the colleges is going to be presenting a short presentation, about 15 minutes. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention FIT was supposed to be a part of this, but they were unable to make it at the last minute. So we've asked both Kristina and Dana to increase their presentation, followed by the presentation. Barbara will lead a Q&A session. At any time during the presentation or during Barbara's questions, feel free to submit your own questions through the GoToWebinar control panel. And at the very end of the presentation, I'll jump in and get through as many of your questions as we possibly can. We usually do this in alphabetical order, so I am now going to turn this over to Kristina to tell us all about Rollins. Kristina?
All right. Thank you so much. So are you guys able to see the PowerPoint presentation?
We can see it.
Perfect. So we're just going to go through some information about Rollins College. So like mentioned, my name is Kristina, and I am one of the admission counselors at Rollins College. For those who maybe know a little bit or don't know anything at all about Rollins, we are located in Winter Park. Specifically, we're about 15 minutes from downtown Orlando, so definitely in Central Florida. Rollins is a college of liberal arts. We were founded in 1885 by a group coming from the Northeast, where the style of liberal arts education is quite popular, but they wanted a warmer climate, so they came down to Florida and established Rollins. We were ranked #1 regional university in the South. One of our biggest draws is just the location of our campus. Like I mentioned, we're very close to downtown Orlando. When you look at some locations of other liberal arts colleges, you might notice that they're in smaller towns where the college typically is the largest part of the town, and that's just not the case for us. Winter Park alone is definitely a historic, more residential part of Central Florida. It's definitely a part of town that Floridians and those who are native to Orlando love to visit, just because it is so beautiful and also very pedestrian. So the historic part of Winter Park is almost an extension of campus. We have the beautiful brick-lined roads. We have lots of boutiques and restaurants and cafes for our students to both have job opportunities as well as just for fun. There's a train station right there as well. It's about a 5-minute walk from campus, so it's very easy to both take the Amtrak as well as our Sunrail commuter train that we established a few years ago, and that's another way to get into downtown Orlando as well as to get to the airport, which is the international Orlando airport. So you are able to get flights most anywhere out of that airport. And then, again, Orlando, and I will talk about some of the benefits of being so close to a large metropolis like Orlando and the ways that our campus really engages our students in providing mentorship as well as opportunities, again, in Winter Park, but also in Orlando. So when we look at who makes up our campus, we have just over 2,000 students in our undergraduate programs. We have about 39 states represented and over 60 nations. About 50% of our student body is coming from the state of Florida, 40% out of state, and 10% international. So Rollins is very driven, mission-based driven, I will say, and part of our mission statement is that we want our students to be global citizens, and it's definitely going to have that thought and perspective on campus just by who makes up our campus. Again, those international students, as well as the international opportunities that our faculty and staff have had. And again, looking at diversity initiatives, we are driven in increasing those as well. So about 27% of our student body is, oh, did I lose you? There we go. 27% of our student body does come from different minority groups. Now, when we talk about our curriculum and the way that we present, not only our in-class learning, but also hands-on learning. So we offer over 60 different academic programs. Our average class size is about 17. We've had classes that can be as small as 5 or 6 students, going up to maybe 20 to 25 students. We were also ranked #1 for our strong commitment to undergraduate teaching. And ways that we deliver on that, again, our professors are the ones who teach our courses, so you're being taught by the experts and not by like graduate assistants or teaching assistants. You are really getting that opportunity to not only engage with your classmates in the classroom setting. A lot of our classes are discussion based. A lot of the structures of the physical classroom too are going to be large round tables to almost have that, enable that discussion. We have our professors who are able to also make really wonderful connections and relationships with our students, again, because they're able to get to know them not only on an academic level, but on a personal level. So our professors are available to our students, again, also outside of classrooms, to offer and assist in finding internships, writing those letters of recommendations for our students, because they're able, again, to get to know students really well. We have a 10-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio. And then one way that we also deliver on our commitment to undergraduate teaching and research is through our faculty collaborative research program with our students. So this is available to students, as early as after your first year, and you're working with a professor one-on-one. You're receiving a stipend and living on campus over the summer to develop and do your research, and it culminates in typically either presenting at a graduate level conference, and more often than not also results in publishing in academic journals. And this is available in all of our academic programs, not just in the STEM fields that a lot of people associate research with. So for example, we've had students in the theater department who have spent the summer studying 1920s crime life, and they've gone on to then create a sort of improv whodunit play that was presented on campus in the fall this past year. We've had students in the history department who worked with their professors to create actual books that were published and are now able to be bought in the bookstore about the history of Winter Park. So we've had a lot of opportunities for our students to, again, get that research under their belts, even at the undergraduate level. So a lot of times this is not available to students in the undergrad level, or not until you're later in, maybe as a junior or senior at your institution. Now, outside of the classroom, our students are also very involved. We have over 100 student organizations, and that that ranges the gamut. We have student media, so we have our own newspaper, we have our own a radio station, so you could be a student DJ if you're interested in that, or we just created a new podcast studio, so you could definitely get involved with or continue if you have a current show that you produce. We have our own literary magazine that's all student-led and written. We have our debate team, which is nationally recognized. We have, cultural and religious organizations, political organizations, expressive arts organizations. We have sorority and fraternity life on campus. So many ways to get involved, plus our athletics. We are Division II in the teams that we have on campus. So we're in the NCAA Division II. One of those, though, is a Division I, which is our water ski team. So campus is abutted by Lake Virginia. So we are sort of tucked away in that sense, but it's also a wonderful opportunity for our students to just enjoy the physical landscape of the campus. The lake is accessible to students who are also not part of any athletic teams. So as long as you have a swim test on file, you're able to use our boathouses to check out equipment such as paddle boards, sailboats, canoes, really take advantage of our campus amenities and some free time and ways to de-stress. And then we also offer club and intramural sports, so if you don't want to play at the varsity level, that's absolutely okay. You can just, do a pickup game or just do something even more low-key with friends, on not a busy afternoon, whatever sort of suits your fancy. When we talk about sort of our Rollins results, this information came in from our class of 2018. 97% of them did advise that they were engaged in the workforce, graduate school, or volunteer service 12 months after graduating. So we're really excited to see that data from our students. Part of our mission statement, again, is for our students to lead meaningful and productive lives and careers. And so we're really excited to see that, they are going on to do and pursue some of their passions. So here you can see a list of just some of the companies as well as graduate programs that our alums have gone on to. I will make note of just our physical location, again, being in Orlando. We are so close to the theme park, so about half an hour to Disney and Universal and SeaWorld. That also allows for a lot of internship opportunities, part-time jobs, as well as then going into full-time jobs once they graduate. We are also very close to, like I mentioned, downtown Orlando, which is a growing city. It's growing very quickly. There's just a lot of good data about Orlando, and it's, top city for U.S. graduates. It's one of the top cities for internships available per capita. So we're seeing a lot of our alums as well staying in the area once they graduate, which also provides a wonderful opportunity for our current students through mentorship programs that we offer. We also have on campus our Center for Career and Life Planning, and they work with students from day one, and it's also a lifelong relationship that you have with them. It's not just once you graduate that you can no longer access the opportunities that they afford. They are responsible for helping with resume workshops, cover letter workshops, mock interviews. They will put on career fairs for students. They have an online database that houses all sorts of job opportunities and graduate opportunities, all sorts of things for you to apply for. I think something like 1,500 of these postings come in each month, and these employers are sending them directly to us. So they are looking again at Rollins and looking for Rollins students to potentially fill these roles. And I do also want to plug our Crummer Graduate School of Business. It is ranked #1 in the state of Florida for an MBA. And we do offer an accelerated management program. So if you have students, or if any students who are tuning in are interested in potentially pursuing an MBA, this might be an excellent option. In 3 years, you would receive your BA from Rollins, and it can be in any major. It doesn't have to be business. And then in your 4th year, you would move into the MBA program and finish that within 2 years. So 5 years, 2 degrees. So you're not only saving on some money there, but also on some time. So that's a really wonderful opportunity for our students. Now, when we look at our admission profile, Rollins is a holistic review process. So what that means is we absolutely look at everything that is submitted in our students' files. So we know you're not just a GPA, you're not just a test score. There's so much more to you as a person, as well as your high school sort of profile. When we look at average core unweighted GPA, it's about a 3.4, so A-, B+ average. We do have students, again, scoring below and above that, but that's sort of that middle spot that we see. And we are looking at your core courses, so not your electives. And we do unweight everything to have all GPAs on the same playing field. Of course, we do look at how you've challenged yourself based on what's available to you at your high school. But again, we're going to put everyone on the same playing field. We are test optional, so we have been for the last decade or so. So it does not hurt your application in any way to apply without scores. You are still eligible for scholarships, so that's definitely an option. Although if you are taking this testing, we do recommend scores between a 1220 to a 1360 for the SAT, and we do have about a 25 to a 30 ACT. Again, those are just that middle ground, so we have students below and above that. We do super score the SAT, but not the ACT. And if you submit both tests, we will take the higher of the two that you submit. And then there's going to be your essay. This is my favorite part as a counselor. It's really where you as a student get to shine. So I really recommend that you write what you're passionate about and not what you feel like I want to hear. So that's really also the perfect opportunity for you to have a couple people proofread it, because it does also act as a writing sample. So definitely we don't look at the writing portions of your standardized testing. So the essay is going to be really important for that. Then you have an area to list all of your involvement that you've done, whether it's been inside or outside of the classroom. And we only require one letter of recommendation from your counselor or your guidance or college counselor. You are, of course, welcome to submit additional, but we only require the one. When we look at early decision and regular decision, we do offer both of those as rounds to apply to Rollins. For early decision, we do let you know it's a binding decision. So if you are accepted, it does mean you will enroll at Rollins and withdraw applications elsewhere. We have 2 rounds of that, with November 15th and January 5th being those deadlines. And we know that's such a big commitment, so there's some benefits to that. You receive your notification early, you have priority scholarship consideration, you get priority semester course scheduling, as well as placement in one of your top 3 first-year seminar courses in your first semester. Although if you're not ready to make that binding decision, that's absolutely okay. We then do have our regular decision option. So we have our priority scholarship deadline as well, being November 15th. So I really recommend, if you're able to get everything in, or at least get your application and some of your materials in by November 15th. That'll just put you at the beginning of the line to be considered for all opportunities that we offer. Otherwise, our regular decision final deadline is going to be February 1st, and we guarantee you'll hear back by April 1st. And then just some information about our financial aid. We're ranked #7 for best value school. About 85% of our student body does receive some form of financial aid, whether that be merit and or need-based aid. Our own merit scholarships range anywhere from 10 to 30,000. You're automatically considered for those scholarships when you apply, so there's no separate application. And then we do accept any outside scholarships as well if you're coming in with anything. And then for my Florida students and residents who are also tuning in, we accept Florida prepaid as well as Florida Bright Futures and the EASE grant. So I'm not sure if any of my students or families are aware of the EASE grant, but that is some funding provided to Florida residents who stay within state and attend a private institution. So again, all of those would stack on top of each other to create your financial aid package. We do also accept any need-based aid that you qualify for. So we do recommend that you submit the FAFSA. It opens October 1st of your senior year. Your family just needs some of their previous year's tax information as well as some information from your academic history. And that will also let you know if there's any other grants or scholarships or loans that you might qualify for. And again, we would accept any of those. So I think that's about it for my presentation there. So hopefully if you guys have any other additional questions, do submit those. I'm happy to help in any way that I can.
Thank you so much, Kristina. Dana, I'm going to turn it over to you now. Dana, you're muted. Oh, you're still muted, Dana.
Sorry.
There you go.
My first rodeo. My name is Dana Dolbow. I'm the Director of Campus Visitation here at Stetson. I am getting ready to start, I'll have my 7th year anniversary just in a few months. And so I'm really excited to be with you. I started off as an admissions recruiter. I actually had South Florida and the Mid-Atlantic as my territories over the past couple of years, and have been able to move into a role where I help with visits, open houses, our student ambassadors, and anything else that we needed to kind of take care of here in the office. So Stetson, we're the oldest private school here in the state of Florida. We were founded in 1883. We're currently here in DeLand, which is about 25 minutes from both New Smyrna and Daytona beaches, and we're about an hour from downtown Orlando. DeLand is a really cute, smaller town. We're known as having one of the best main streets in all of the United States. We were given the honor just a few years back. So students can walk downtown. There's a lot of great local places to eat, everything from Thai to James Beard award-winning restaurants and local breweries owned by Stetson alum. But jumping into some quick facts regarding the university to share with you. We currently have just over 3,100 undergraduate students, 1,100 graduate students between all of our locations across the state. For graduate school programs, we offer online MBAs, an online Master of Accountancy program. We have our law school, which is located over in Gulfport, Florida, between Tampa Bay and St. Petersburg. And the law school also has a campus in downtown Tampa as well. About 2,000 of our students do reside and are residential students here in DeLand. So that's about 80% of our students. And our students are coming from about 45 different states, 64 different countries, and 4 territories. Most of our students are coming from the state of Florida, about 69%. 24% are coming from out of state. Our top markets out of state where we do see our students are relocating down to sunny Florida, and you'll understand for the correct reasons why. Maine, Long Island, New York, Chicago, Illinois, and then Atlanta, Georgia are some of our top markets where you'll see our students coming from. I did want to share just some quick COVID-19 updates for everyone. We have a Safer Stetson task force that's currently underway that I am happy to announce that I'm a part of. So we are meeting weekly, and there's a ton of different subcommittees that are also meeting to help make sure that we're making the best decisions for Stetson moving forward to make sure that our campus, our students, our faculty, and staff are safe as a #1 priority. So we are sending out weekly communication to all of our families, returning students, and of our incoming students. And we've also hosted a few webinars over the past couple of weeks, and we have a few planned coming up as decisions are being made. We're expecting decisions on classes to be announced anytime between now and the end of the month. We're about to hit the mid part of June, which is when decisions are expected to be announced. So more information forthcoming on that. Our website's being updated constantly, and any individual questions I'm more than happy to answer during the presentation that I may know for you. We currently have about a 13-to-1 student to faculty teacher ratio here at Stetson. An average class size is around 20. Students in their classes are able to really build those really strong personalized relationships with the faculty within here at the university. 95% of our faculty hold a terminal degree, or they've gone to the farthest point in their degree. The 5% that don't are typically well-renowned in their field and have many years of experience that they're able to pass along to our students. A lot of times you'll see experiential requests and support is needed in those areas, just like our brand new, it's about 2 years old, professional sales program that we offer. So one of our professors does not hold a PhD, but he has 35 years of executive sales experience. So he's able to give that one-on-one coaching to our students as they go out and to find jobs in the workforce. We are also known to have the first chapter of Phi Beta Kappa, which is a National Honor Society. So this is really going to speak to the rigor of the class that you're going to experience when you come to the university. Our faculty are going to pull you outside of your comfort zone into an area where you're a little uncomfortable. And this is where a lot of times you're going to learn. Our faculty are going to be there to support you, to guide you, to mentor you through this uncomfortable state, to help you grow professionally and help you meet those goals that you have for yourself academically as well as professionally. We have 3 core values at the university that I do want to cover with you today. Our first being intellectual development, so talking a little bit more about the academics. We have 4 schools and colleges, and we have about over 100 areas of study to choose from between majors, minors, and special programs. In the arts and sciences, this will encompass majors like education, history, aquatic and marine science. And from there, all of our students are required to do research to graduate. So no matter what your major is within the arts and sciences, you'll sit down with your faculty advisor during your junior year, come up with a game plan of what you're wanting to study and why, and actually implement it. Stetson has something called Share Grants, or the Stetson Undergraduate Research Experiences, where we actually provide opportunities for students to receive money to help support the research that they're doing between their junior and senior year. So we have a lot of students that are actually out doing research now. Noah Peterson is over in New Smyrna Beach working with sea turtles. Is just one of the examples that I'm able to provide with you today. I've been able to kind of keep up with him via social media to kind of see what he's learning, how it's going, and it's been really fun to kind of see the progress of that. Within the School of Business, we're accredited by the AACSB, which is an international accreditation for business schools. Top majors in the School of Business are going to be marketing, finance, and accounting. All of our students, just how our students in the arts and science are required to do research to graduate, all of our students in the School of Business are required to have experiential learning to graduate. So as you are progressing through your time at the university, you're starting to look at job descriptions, trying to figure out interviews, and figure out what your next steps are. So as you read job descriptions, a lot of times you're going to see experience is required. So how are you going to gain experience in the business world as a college student? Through our experiential learning requirements, we have coordinators on site who are here to help guide you through resume building, mock interviews, and help you find internships that count towards your experiential learning requirement. Will help you structure your schedule. So if you want to go abroad for a semester to meet that requirement, you're able to do so. And then you're also able to be a part of one of our competition teams. We have 4 exclusive competition teams on campus that our students are able to participate in. We have the Rollins George Investments Program, which is this group of students that manage about a $4 million portfolio of real money. They spend a semester on stocks, a semester on bonds. We have the Prince Entrepreneurship Program, where students can take their ideas and actually implement them into real life scenarios and create their inventions and have them actually be implemented. An example of this is the Dio syringe that Bryson Pritchard created just a few years ago. And through entrepreneurship competitions that he's been able to compete in nationally, he's earned about $50,000 to put towards his prototype and is currently in the stages of negotiating a sale of selling the syringe to a company. And all of that was done through the support of faculty, lawyers that we were able to connect him to, and guidance through our innovation lab, where he's been able to create prototypes of the syringe to be able to provide to manufacturers as he's coming up with ideas of what it's going to look like, which is really, really cool. We also have business ethics teams, and we have a competition team for professional sales, where our team actually took Rookie Team of the Year last year as we first entered the first year of the program. We also have our law school over in Gulfport. Through our law school, we have a 3+3 program, so students can spend their first 2 years here at Stetson, undergrad completing both their major courses and all of their general education courses, and then go and spend their senior year over in Gulfport, which would also count towards their first year of law school. So instead of taking the traditional 7-year track to finish both undergraduate and law school, you're able to complete both degrees in 6 years, which is really, really exciting. We also have the School of Music, which is known as more of a conservatory. About 75% of your time within the School of Music will be spent in music, about 25% in the liberal arts outside music. Top majors are going to be music education and music with an outside field, where students can pair that with an outside field of business, an outside field in psychology, physics even. So whatever your passions are, you're able to balance both music as well as another area of academic support that you love. We also have an honors program and a discovery program for students who aren't quite sure what they want to do. You're able to be part of the discovery program for up to 2 years with guidance from academic success as well as a faculty member to help support you and guide you through the process of figuring out what you want to major in, what your passions are, and aligning that with a program here at the university to support you in those goals. Our students obviously are here for an education, but beyond going to class until Fridays at 2 o'clock, our students are heavily involved here on campus and within the campus community and locally here in DeLand. So we have over 140 clubs and organizations currently on campus. About a third of our students are involved in Greek life. And we actually are Division I, which is sometimes a surprise for families when they learn that. So you get that big school feeling of football games, baseball games, basketball games, sand volleyball games. We're ranked number 5th in the nation through NCAA Division I for sand volleyball. So you get to go to those games where support the team, but you also go to class the next week and you're going to have the star outfielder who made the game-winning catch in your class. You'll have the other athletes in your classes. So you have an opportunity to build those networks and relationships, but also support one another in those passions that you have outside of the classroom. Some organizations that our students are a part of, we're heavily involved in Student Government Association here. A part of the Safer Stetson Task Force, we actually are consulting with the Student Government Association Executive Leadership Board, where they're actually helping us make the decisions and come up with a game plan that represents what the students are wanting while keeping them safe through the times that we're currently in. We have a lot of opportunities for leadership. We have leadership coaching, one-on-one coaching. We're a strength-based school, so all of our incoming students actually complete strength finders, and we utilize that in our freshman seminars, in our residential halls. As an advisor to an organization here, we also use it within organizations to match students up to help them and coach them through maybe difficult conversations or working with people that they're not quite used to working with as opportunities to grow before they enter into the workforce. I mentioned that our students are really involved in the community. So last year alone, our students spent over 130,000 hours participating in community service between our undergraduate campus and our law school over in Gulfport. And this is just a quick photo that always makes me smile. This is a group of students who helped raise almost $20,000 for My Angel with Paws, which is a local service animal organization. My Angel with Paws is very active on campus, and with being an animal-friendly campus, our students who aren't able to bring the family dog or cat with them can actually host a service animal for 6 months or so and help it become socialized before it goes to its official training. So last year they were our award recipients. This year the neighborhood center was voted in, and the money that was raised through Green Feather, which is a program during homecoming where all of our organizations raise money for a certain organization on campus happen. So lots of traditions that align back to the community service and align with DeLand, knowing that we're helping our community and our students are really involved. One thing I do want to touch on is the Stetson Promise for you. So Stetson promises, and this is something that you'll learn more about as you apply and as you consider Stetson as one of your top choices. We promise that you're going to graduate in 4 years or less. We promise you that you're going to have opportunities for internships, student-led research during your senior year, public performances, and studying abroad opportunities. And you'll get a chance to participate in those distinctive programs that I mentioned with our amazing faculty. One program that I didn't mention, we have a Water Institute, and the Water Institute is actually located over in Lake Beresford, which is home to our rowing team and where our boathouse is. And so upstairs, we have faculty and students who are working on a lot of the water problems that we have here in Central Florida and in Florida in general with our aquifers. So students have that hands-on opportunities right here in our backyard. Some important numbers at the bottom. When you join Stetson, you're joining a network of close to 45,000 Stetson alumni that you're gonna be able to tap into to network prior to even graduation, even prior to coming to Stetson. So we host a lot of opportunities for you where alumni will connect and engage with you based off of your major, based off of the college or school that that you're currently interested in, as well as location. And 91% of our students are employed or are in graduate school within 6 months of graduation. We are so proud of this. We have a little work to do with getting the 9%, but our students are going on and doing really amazing things. And here are some places where students have gone for graduate school. University of South Florida for medical school, Fordham and Vermont Law, Fordham for law school. Danny Humphrey has just graduated from Fordham, actually, law. He's working down, he just announced that he passed the New York bar, but he's currently working down in Miami. Yale for music, Duke for public policy, Johns Hopkins for education, UF for med school. Also something that was just announced, we have a brand new program with Advent Health University, which is over about an hour away in Orlando. We actually have a direct connect program now with their nursing program. So some Stetson students, based off of parameters of being provisionally admitted, will have an opportunity if they want to continue or want to go to nursing school, that we have a direct connect from Stetson to Advent Health for that. And of course, students will go on to become double hatters, meaning you get 2 degrees from Stetson. So your undergraduate degree and a law degree, your undergraduate degree as well as an MBA, etc. Here's some internships and careers our students have gone on to attend. So Brown & Brown Insurance is a regional insurance firm based here in Daytona Beach. Hyatt and CC Brown are really big Stetson supporters. They actually donated about $18 million to us about a year and a half ago. And we're currently in the process of, in the planning stages of having a new building built on campus for the health sciences. Delta, Travis Hill and a new recent grad, Max Dulprez, both currently work at Delta, and they were able to get their foot in the door through relationship building that they had with alumni. Actually, Glenn Halstein, who's currently president of Delta. Lots of alumni currently working over at Disney, the CDC. Emma Schaefer was able to connect with the FDA during her junior year. Her faculty advisor, Tony Abbott, actually emailed her and said, hey, you should apply for this internship. And her reply was, Dr. Abbott, this is a senior level internship. I'm a junior. And he goes, you're ready for it, apply, you'll be competitive. And she actually got the internship the second semester of her junior year. And she worked there through her senior year, and it led to a full-time job based in Chicago. And she actually just had a chance to move back to Tampa. And she's working in the medical device area of the FDA. So lots of fun stories that I could go on for hours, but I won't, don't worry. Okay. So kind of jumping in through financial aid. When you apply to Stetson, you're automatically considered for merit-based scholarships that range up to about $35,000 a year. But there's some additional funding sources that I do want to point out to you. Stetson has exclusive access here in Florida to Scholarship Universe, which is an opportunity for you to look for outside scholarships based off of right when you apply. You have access to the website. We do have student employment opportunities, but a third of our students do work on campus. We accept Florida prepaid college plans. We have something called Raise Me, which is a micro scholarship website. We do accept federal financial aid, so the Pell Grant, Work Study. About 90% of our students are receiving some sort of financial aid, either merit-based or federally. And then state aid, we have the EASE grant, Florida Bright Futures, and then we have something internally called this tuition assistance grant to help students as well. As I mentioned, our scholarships are renewable for up to 4 years of graduation, which comes first. And then we have a lot of additional scholarship opportunities that can potentially stack on top of this based on athletics, talent like music. We do have an Air Force and Army ROTC programs here on campus. We have a relationship with Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. So both of the detachments are part of Embry-Riddle's cohorts and platoons. We have a bunch of donor-related scholarships that are based around our friends and families who've donated to Stetson, and we have institutional scholarships beyond your merit scholarships that you apply for, which do require a separate application, like the J.L.E. Edmonds Distinguished Scholarship, the Sullivan Scholarship for Creative Writing, the Lawson Scholarship was based around the humanities. So there's a lot of additional opportunities for you that can be stacked on top of one another. And for this coming year, for our students for fall 20, if there are any, we are still accepting applications. We still have some merit-based scholarship, and we have secured some CARES Act money that we are saving for any additional students who may need additional support based off of what's going on in the world around us right now. You can apply one of three ways. Common App, Coalition App, or our very own Stetson application. We'll need official transcripts, one letter of recommendation. We are test optional. And we also, this past year, recently went to self-reported scores and transcripts. So if you provide us with enough information on your application and you provide us with your unofficial test scores, we can make a decision prior to receiving those official scores to help remove that barrier for you. You just have to submit them later once you decide to enroll. Our average GPA is about a 3.86, and our range SAT is between 1140 and a 1300, or 24 and 30 with your ACT. We do have some early action deadlines. These are non-binding. Deadlines are November 1st, January 15th, and we're rolling beyond March. Right now, we are still accepting applications for fall 20. We do have a few open spots, so we are taking that on a case-by-case basis. If anyone has any questions. And in addition, to kind of wrap things up, I would love to invite you to explore more about Stetson. So we are officially, as of this week, offering personalized private campus visits on campus at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. daily. We still are hosting our virtual events to be able to make sure that we're accommodating all of our families. So virtual information sessions, we have recruiter Zoom sessions, chat sessions that you can sign up for. We have sessions with our ambassadors so you can learn more about student life, knowing that currently there are no students on campus, and you can find all of this information for more engagement at stetson.edu/visiting. And then also, I recommend check out social media. There's a lot of great information that you can find there that you may not find on our website that's coming from our current students. So here's the information to kind of follow us, become my friend. And then lastly, I just wanted to provide you with my information. So if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to reach out individually. Thank you.
Thank you very much to both of you. And thank you to everyone in the audience for joining us again this Wednesday for another COVID college conversation. Kristina, I just want to ask you a quick question to clarify. During your presentation, you mentioned that the priority deadline was November the 15th, but the slide said November 1. So which is it?
Oh, I apologize about that. November 15th.
All right, so very quickly, we're going to do a quick sort of review, what I'll call the lightning round. So since you both kind of alluded to many of these things, I'm just going to ask you to do thumbs up if you're in it. And so here, very quickly, on the Common App. Test optional. Super score. Okay, now I'm going to switch to asking questions. So for everyone who is watching who's a consultant, though the quick lightning round, those things are important to everyone, and now they know the answers. So very quickly, what are the three most important majors? Dana, I'm going to start with you.
Three most important majors? Oh, so I'm going to, for us, it's going to be marketing, finance, and health sciences.
Okay, Kristina?
For us, our top three most popular are going to be business, psychology, and biology.
Okay, there have been a lot of questions this week on the IECA chat about supplementary essays. So do you have supplementary essays, and can you give us a preview? Can you tell us what they are so that we can get our students started writing them? Kristina, how about you?
Sure. So we only require typically the one essay that is either on Common App, Coalition, and then on our own Rollins application, we ask that you write a personal statement. For the upcoming year, we will have optional COVID-related essays. So if there is additional information that you feel really does help round out or explain something on your application from this previous year or from this semester specifically, you will have the opportunity to engage with that essay. Otherwise, we do not require require anything supplementary, and that COVID one is also optional.
Okay, and are you looking for any particular type of response in that optional COVID essay?
Yeah, so really we want you to use that opportunity to explain if there was some sort of extenuating circumstances. We really know that overall a lot of people are affected in a lot of different ways. And so if there's nothing that, maybe you had a grade drop or just, a description of, you're not able to participate in some of the activities that you've done in the past. Or maybe you had something that came up and something good that came out of COVID and you started, a new program or a new way to do outreach virtually, or something that you feel really stands out is really what we're looking for. But I feel like there's going to be a lot of very similar sort of conversations around COVID. So if you don't think it's anything that really does provide an explanation of some sort or provide additional context to your application, then it's probably not going to be an essay that you need to feel you have to submit.
Great, thanks. Dana, how about you? Any supplements?
Oh, we do not require supplemental essay. They can use the Common App or Coalition essays. That works for us. We also actually accept essays that are not listed. So if you have written an essay in your English class, we do accept that as a writing statement or writing sample, just to get an idea of your writing style. So it necessarily doesn't have to align with the college application. But something that you're proud of, that you've worked really, really hard on and that you want to share with us, we will accept that as well.
Thanks. I know that you alluded to it. I heard Dana allude to it. I don't know, Christine, I don't remember if you alluded to this too. Let's talk a little bit about campus visits. How are you planning to accomplish that? Will there be self-guided tours of the, let's say of the outside of campus, or how is that, when are you initiating tours, and how is that process going to take place? Dana?
Great questions. I'll start since we're doing it. So this past week, we were given approval from the Safer Stetson Community Task Force to start campus visits as of this past Monday. So we are capping visits to 9 total guests per visit, plus 1 for a tour guide to go out. We are going through some buildings as well as showing a residential hall. Families are required to sign up ahead of time. There's a screening guide that's required. And once our families are arriving to campus, we ask them the same questions again from the screening guide, and they are getting temperature checked with a thermometer from a staff member. We're asking everyone to wear a mask. We're wearing masks just to make sure that everyone stays safe and healthy. But that's kind of the extent of it. Visits Monday through Friday, 9 and 1, and we are opening up for some additional Saturdays because we're realizing that our families are going back to work. And so 9 and 1 is not, or 9 and 11, excuse me, are maybe not ideal times for our families. So we're looking at extending those. That was a conversation I just had this afternoon before this session.
Kristina, how about you?
Yeah, so we are planning to start offering tours to our interested students and their families. Again, it's also going to be on a much smaller sort of size. I think we're limiting it to 10 people per tour. Right now for the month of June, if you are interested, you can reach out to either myself or our visitor liaison, Jill Pigman, to see if we have any availability. Otherwise, we should be emailing all of our students at the end of this month with our specific plans for July, when we do plan to sort of offer things more regularly. I believe we are looking at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. tours, as well as taking all of the safety precautions that Dina mentioned. We are going to be providing masks if you do not have one, social distancing, trying to stay outdoors as much as possible when providing longer explanations, but still being able to go inside buildings just so that families can see specific spaces. And we also have our facilities team on the scene to do any sort of maintenance and cleaning and sanitizing in between each of our tours. So if you're interested for the month of June, reach out to me or our visitor liaison. Otherwise, stay tuned for a specific email coming that will offer specific more details.
Okay, there has been a lot of writing this week. I saw an article in the Journal of Higher Education. I saw something in the New York Times. They're all alluding to the fact that colleges are not full. Some of the estimates say that they're 20% from being full. Some are going more for between 10 and 20%. So the question is, how are you doing on enrolling students for 2020? What kind of deferrals are you getting? How will those deferrals impact the class of 2021? Kristina?
Yeah, absolutely. So like Dana had mentioned, we are also still accepting applications for fall 2020 if students are reevaluating specifically as well where they want to be geographically. We're seeing a lot of students in the more immediate area because they do want to stay closer to home. So we're working with our students and our families who are still applying. We are getting very close to our enrollment goals, so we definitely don't necessarily have too many like high concerns about where we are. We also see that our deferrals are about the same as they've been in previous years, so we're not really noticing an uptick in the deferral process. So we do not expect or anticipate it to affect our fall 2021 students at all. Like you mentioned, our class size might just be a tad smaller for fall 2020 than we typically have, which we aim for around 550. So we expect that anything in fall 2021 would be able to make up for, if there is a smaller class size for fall 2020. But we are not noticing an uptick in our deferrals as of now.
Dana?
We are still accepting applications, just like Kristina said. We are close. I think over when you look at the start of when COVID first started to where we are now, I think families and students have been able to make decisions, and we've given them the time that they've needed to make those decisions. So with extending those deadlines, I think that's really helped. We are, I would say we're under 10% compared to where we've been in the past. So it's not as drastic as what we've seen across the country. As far as deferrals, it's about the same as last year. I don't see it affecting us for our 21 class and affecting admission decisions or opportunities for our rising seniors or our newly vetted seniors. Scholarships are remaining the same, and we still have a little bit of money, and we kind of did that at the start of COVID where we put it aside knowing that we probably will have some students who don't want to go as far away as planned and want to stay here in the state of Florida. And that's something that we've been hearing a lot from our families.
So for parents who are watching and who are unfamiliar, would one of you like to explain what the process is when a student requests deferral? Because I think many families are unfamiliar with the process.
Mm-hmm.
Dana,
So through the deferral process at Stetson, typically it starts with a conversation with the admissions recruiter of what's going on, how can I help, what is the outlying cause of it, and then we explain that when you defer, that means that you're not going to another institution, even if it's a state college during that time period, because if that's the case, you're technically considered a transfer student and would have to reapply. So we talk about what are you doing in that year, and our students are able to defer with their scholarship for up to 1 year. So if you defer to spring, that's great. Or if you defer to next fall, that's also an option. And we just kind of keep connecting with you back just to make sure things are good. But after a year, you would have to reapply. Or if you decide maybe halfway through your gap year that, oh, hey, I really want to take some classes. I'm going to take something online or at my local college that's down the street. That would then consider you a transfer student, and you'd have to reapply, be reconsidered for merit-based scholarships and those types of things.
Okay, so, and the other thing to be clear for parents, in order to take a deferral, most colleges require that students have a plan for deferral, that they account for what they're going to do during that time that they're taking off and requesting leave. So it's not just, I'm going to stay home and wait and see what happens.
No.
Okay, so kind of a fun question. What is a quirky tradition on your campus? Kristina?
Yeah, sure. So definitely one of the more popular ones on campus is our Fox Day tradition. So this is a day that happens in the spring. Traditionally, no one knows when it's going to happen. So it's a day that the president deems too beautiful for classes, and he will place the Fox statue in the center of campus, and everyone knows that it is now Fox Day, which means all classes and all events are canceled for the day. So we have a lot of fanfare around it. We bring bounce houses and different food options to campus. Students go to the theme parks. they go to the beaches. Everyone recommunes in the evening for like a barbecue out on Mills Lawn, which is our sort of central area on campus. And it's just a really great way for students to anticipate getting closer to finals and taking a day off from, you know, anything that they had planned that day. It can be such a big event on campus that students will start the Fox Day cam, and they put a camera up in our chapel so that they can watch directly on Mills Lawn for when the fox will come out. Students will also camp out on Mills Lawn, anticipating that the next day is hopefully going to be canceled and they didn't spend all evening out on Mills Lawn in their tent for no reason. So it's definitely a really fun holiday for our students.
Dana, how about you?
A fun day on campus. I'm going to go in the opposite direction. In the fall semester, we typically host something called Values Day. And so our students are actually required to complete cultural credits to graduate from Stetson. You need 24 of them. So on Values Day, you can knock out pretty much an entire academic calendar year's worth of cultural credits, where we have buses that will take you downtown or take you out in the community to do community service. We bring in speakers, we have lecture series, we have roundtable discussions about something that's going on in the world around us. This past year is based around women and art. And so every year it's something different as a way to educate our students in a different way and to kind of get them outside of their academic bubble to learn more.
Thank you. So as an educational consultant, very often you hear from parents who's like the class of 2020, they've already been accepted, but I've gotten a lot of calls from parents who wonder if their kids were to apply today to some of the schools that might have been considered reach schools, if they would have a better chance of getting in. So my question to you is, are your academic requirements, are your standards going to be more flexible with the class of 2021?
Our standards are going to stay the same. I think it's going to be more about the understanding of what they went through. I don't want to say it's going to be easier. It's going to be more of, hey, this student took Algebra 2 with a pass-fail grade, with a passing of, and us accepting that. You know, lowering the standards, because when you get to campus, the standards are staying the same of what faculty expect out of our students to help them set them up for success. So if we were to lower our standards, it's actually would be a disservice for our students coming in because we want to make sure that they're prepared and ready for the challenge that they're going to have when they get to campus.
Kristina, I have a question for you too. Parent asked specifically, she said, I have 2 questions for Rollins. So the first was, what was the target number of incoming freshmen for fall 2020? And how many deposits do you currently have? How many students have either deferred or pulled back in acceptances? So I think you kind of touched on it, but.
Yeah, so last week, because our extension deadline for depositing is June 15th, so we still are getting deposits trickling in. Our goal typically is about 540 to 550 students, and as of, I think it was last week, Friday, we had 535 deposits. So we're definitely getting close to our typical goal of the 550 enrolling first years. And so far, I don't have the specific numbers yet in terms of pulling out, just because our deposit deadline has been pushed out to June 15th. So we really haven't run the numbers yet on who has maybe deposited and then withdrawn because of, you know, everything happening, that they're reevaluating their options and where they want to be.
Okay, let me look at my list and come up with one more question here. Tell me about a unique program or experience that a student can only get at your school.
Can I go first?
Yeah.
Or Tina, do you go ahead?
Go ahead, Dana.
Okay, so I'm going to talk. I would say the Water Institute is something that our students are really able to take advantage of. So whether you're aquatic and marine science major or you're interested in environmental studies, it's a great way to jump into research right when you first get to campus. And it's something that has been around for quite a few years. And with the development of our, it started off on campus, but with the development of our new boathouse, I believe it was about a $5 million project. There's a lot of fun support and research equipment that you're able to use to go and help the world around us. So definitely the Water Institute is something that I think is unique to Stetson, and knowing the surrounding areas of what we're dealing with environmentally, it's something that our students can take advantage of from day one.
Kristina?
Yeah, so I definitely think our research opportunities, just in general, specifically, like I mentioned in my presentation, our faculty-student collaborative research program. It's available to students of all years, so it's not just upper year students who have had some more, maybe in-depth knowledge of their potential major. We have so many students who are able to participate in this. They receive the stipend, they're living on campus, they're working one-on-one with their faculty advisor, and they at least have to present at a graduate level conference. So not only are they making those graduate level connections with other faculty and members of graduate institutions at the undergraduate level. So even as, potentially as young as a sophomore, you could be making those connections. But a lot of them do result in academic journal publishing. So you are having the opportunity to have your name on the byline to, not only pad your resume, but to provide further, exposure for yourself as a researcher or as an academic, as well as, just being able to have that on your resume for your future opportunities. Another way that our students participate in research is through our Center for Childhood Development on campus. So for a smaller campus, we do have our development center with young children. So that's a great opportunity, especially for our psychology students, but all majors take use of the different observation rooms that we have and the opportunities that it affords for research.
I want to thank you both. You've been great panelists. I think that you've really given us a really clear view of the opportunity that exists at each of your schools. Jason, do you have any questions from viewers?
Just a couple. Let me pull them up. There weren't too many. For Rollins, you mentioned accepting Bright Futures. I think you could both answer this question, actually. How do the levels of award convert to tuition?
Yeah, so that typically for the secondary level, it's about 5,500 or so in scholarship each year, and then at the highest level, it's about 7,800 for us.
It's pretty much the same, about 5,000 and 7,300 is how it converts.
And can you tell us a bit more about the Honors and Discovery program?
Yeah, so the honors program here at Stetson allows our students to, if you have an interest in a wide variety of things, physics, philosophy, business, it allows you to take all those and combine them. So students in the honors program at Stetson have all of their general education courses waived. So you're not necessarily sitting in an academic bubble by yourself with other like-minded students. You take one class per semester. But with having all those general education courses waived, it allows you to tailor your academic experience and kind of forge your own path. So you're not taking the path that Stetson provides you, but you can create one that's unique to you through the passions that you have. And you can also design your own major. So if you're looking for something that's more based around nonprofit administration, we don't offer that major. But you can actually take classes from economics and sociology and business and combine it to create that major yourself while you're here at the university. Students in the honors program also have benefits like additional advising and mentorships. They bring in additional speakers that are specific to the honors program. There's honors housing, as well as a $1,500 summer stipend that can be used for study abroad and or research. And then the Discovery program is open to all students. So if you're not quite sure what you want to do, it's a great way to be advised and mentored to help find that area of study that you do have a passion for, but also staying, which is really important to parents, stay on track for to graduate in 4 years. So you'll get additional support along the way. And we help direct students to make sure they declare a major by the end of their sophomore year to make sure they're on track to graduate in those 4 years.
And can you both let us know if there are any joint programs you guys have with other colleges?
Yeah, so we actually, it was just announced this past weekend, we have a joint program with Advent Health University where students can actually, there's two. There's one based around technology and medicine, So students can start off at Stetson, and then I think after there's junior year transfer over to Advent Health into their technology program. And then we also have Advent Health into Stetson to Advent Health for nursing, are 2 programs that we offer. And we are a part of LECOM, which is the Lake Erie Osteopathic Medicine program. So students can be admitted into medical school for an OD program as a high school student, be provisionally admitted and complete the requirements at Stetson and automatically have a spot in med school for when the time comes.
So at Rollins, we do also have the LECOM program. Additionally, we have a pre-engineering program. So we work with students who it's sort of like a 3-2 program as well, where you would get your BA at Rollins and then you'd move into one of our 3 cooperative schools, Auburn, Case Western University, or Washington University in St. Louis, to get your Bachelor of Engineering in 2 years. So we have that cooperative with those 3 schools. And I know we were in the works of adding a 4th school to that as well. We do also have, like I mentioned earlier, our MBA dual degree program. So we have the option to do 3 years at Rollins for your BA, and then in your final 2 years go into our graduate school of business, the Crummer School, to get the MBA.
Last question, I think. Dana, can you just talk a little bit about Stetson's music program?
Yeah, so as a music student here at Stetson, you'll audition between during your senior year between January and March for an official audition with the faculty within your genre, whether that's instrumental or vocal performance. And then from there, you're admitted to the program either as a major or minor, or just for participation. That's also an opportunity to still receive scholarship money for participation. And then once you're here, you're required to have weekly private lessons with the faculty within your area. Based off of if you're a major, it's an hour a week. If it's a minor, it's 30 minutes a week. And both majors and minors are required to perform in public once a semester. So they're getting that hands-on performance experience as early as their first semester through the program. More of a conservatory, so 75% music, 25% liberal arts. Allowing the students to have that idea or interest if they have another outside area that they have a passion for, they're still able to pursue that passion if that's something that they want to do.
Great. Well, thank you both very much. Really appreciate your time tonight. Couple things for the audience. We have several of these types of webinars that we've already done. They're all recorded. There are links on our website if you go to scorewebinars.com. Additionally, we have several more webinars coming up in the next couple of weeks. Next week, I know we have another COVID conversation with Barbara and Florida Southern, University of South Florida, and University of Tampa, as well as a webinar we're calling Power and Access, which is going to be with George Washington and American University. The following week, we're doing Titans of Texas with SMU and TCU, and I believe we have another COVID conversation episode that week as well. So you can there's links to all of this at scorewebinars.com. And that's it. Thank you again, Kristina and Dana and Barbara. We really appreciate all of your time, and everybody else, stay healthy and stay safe.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.